All right, so picking up from last week, let's take a look. So last week we were talking about, oh, I'm too far up. Let me just go back down to daily. So I have not touched these charts since last week, and even on the morning updates, which are very brief, I'm just going through them and I'm leaving everything that we did on the weekly. So I'm trying not to change them until our weekly updates. But if you guys are interested on daily updates, I'm trying to post in the morning before market opens, just to give you an update on our weekly views, see how the plays are going. So for now, I think we are on SPY. So SPY, we were thinking that we're going to have a pullback below the 21 exponential on a daily, which we did. Now it looks like we are finding a little bit of support on the 50. Now this needs to hold for a bullish continuation case, in my opinion. Looking at the weekly, I mean, obviously it looks pretty bearish. But if I'm looking at the dynamic momentum here, the indicator I have, these bands are pretty much converging, which is based on volatility. So we are squeezing tight here, which means we're going to get some kind of explosive move very soon, if not starting now. So that is something that I want to keep an eye on. Coming into Monday, just for interest sake, let's see here on the 4-hour, we are at the 200 exponential. Yeah, this is a very critical zone where we are right now. So we need to get a bounce here going. In the past, the 200 exponential has been pretty good at supporting us, but this is looking pretty weak. However, let's take a look, see if there's anything positive here. So we're getting rejected further downside here. Yeah, we can get another spike down to this lower level and then come back up, but I don't know, it's looking weak. I'm gonna reserve any opinions on that. Do you have any questions on this?
So I'm sorry, this is SPY, right?
Yeah.
So
ETF of S&P.
so I think I asked you this privately once, but you would say that this isn't one stock. It's just the, I guess, buying selling response to a multitude of 500 stocks, right, that are potentially evolving. So could you use um, the same strategy in analyzing the stock for an entire portfolio of your own?
You mean if you analyze this, would you be able to analyze other stocks, or I'm
No,
sorry?
like, so the way you're analyzing this SPY, which is the S&P 500, so it's not just one share, it's a fluctuation of 500 shares, 500 stocks. I'm saying, could you use the same analysis to like analyze the totality of your stock portfolio or my stock portfolio, right? If I have whatever stocks, doesn't really matter. You could use the same trend analysis to see where your portfolio is going.
Yes. How? So I'll put disclaimer with that. So if you look at the SPY ETF, for example, or just the index in general, each of the companies have a percentage accountability towards that valuation. So um, I can get back to you on that. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
post it in on Monday mornings. I'll just put a quick view on what the percentages are. Let me just put a note down.
Yeah, no. So I guess maybe I'm just saying, if you look at one stock like Tesla, you can analyze the path of the stock based on trends that are happening and et cetera, all the price information. But you
Yeah.
could,
So
I guess, you could do the same thing for your whole portfolio. I have 10 shares of this, 2 shares of that, 30 shares of other company, and whatever, however many companies I have in my portfolio as well as shares. You could potentially analyze the whole portfolio as one in the same fashion.
yes, I think I understand what you're saying. Yes, but you'd have to proportion it as such.
Okay.
Um, but that would be your portfolio as a whole. I believe you can do that because you're basically playing percentages at that point.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and the ETF is just is basically a fund. So it's just This is SPY. Yeah, so SPY is just a diversified basket of assets, right?
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
has multiple sectors, so it's not just one. So you got, I think it's like 24% for information technology, 13 for healthcare, 13% for finance, 11 for communication, and 9 for industrials. I think there's some real estate in there too, and some utilities. I just don't remember the percentages of those. But it just allocates most of the funds into common stocks. You know, you have Apple. I think was the biggest one. It's like 6 or 7% of the portfolio weight. Then you have Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Google. Tesla's now on there since the split. Even Johnson and Johnson's in there.
Yeah, but again, though, so when you're analyzing SPY, though, you're not actually worried about those proportions right now. You're just analyzing the stock as if it's one piece.
Right. So when I'm looking at, so SPY is just the ETF of SPX, which is S&P 500.
Yeah.
So this is just the ETF currently in front of your screen. Now, if I go to the SPX, which I did in the first place, that's your index. So you have the 3 indexes. You have S&P 500, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones.
Right.
And it's kind of like taking the pulse on the market as a whole.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're trying to get the sentiment of direction as to what's happening in general, and to get a feeling of, oh, so so where's the market as a whole heading towards? But
Right.
in saying that, I'm just reminded that I do want to say that the stock market is not a direct correlation of the economy. So
Yeah.
just
Absolutely.
because the stock market is going down doesn't mean that the economy is doing the same.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of other markets that aren't depicted in the stock market.
Right. In case, so looking at SPY now, so like I was saying, we do need to hold this area. This is looking okay for now, but you are getting some signs of warnings here. Now, in talking about indices, sorry, let's look at some NASDAQ. Might as well add that to our watch list. Sorry. Let's take a look. So NASDAQ on the daily, it's looking much weaker than SPY. And I'm looking at the weekly. We're just crossed down and we are breaking the bullish zone here. Not good. This does offer a potential bounce though, coming into the beginning of the week. But I've been looking for a little bit of further downside. If the bounce doesn't hold, we can take a look at the daily. Give you 2 scenarios here. So one is we're going to open and gap down at the open. And then we'll be looking for a retest of the 10 simple here on the weekly. And then over time, it may take a week, it may take 2, but we're going to March and it's looking a little bit of a bearish month coming up. And then I'd be looking for a 21 simple. Same as before, as the other plays, more often than not, it happens at first is that we find support right around the 21 exponential and we bounce up to the 10 simple, and then we'll see. But looking at the monthly, I mean, this is not looking like a picture of health and fitness here.
Yeah.
However, we are crossing up to the upside here, up to the upside, right? But we're also making some kind of formation that is gearing towards some sort of volatility. Whether, and this does play on indicators, it's not popular, but it does work, so I'm going to use it. So it does point to some volatility coming up. So we could see a slight pop into a test of the bullish zone here. I don't expect it to break yet. I want to see a reaction from there and then pop up, break above it, but we'll revisit this. Now, mind you, this is on the monthly, so this could take several weeks.
Gotcha.
And if we go to the downside, that's not good. Not good. But we'll visit it when it comes to that point. See Dow Jones. Similar posture. Got a bit of a bearish tone there. Oof, at the drop. Right into the 50s. We seem to have closed right around there. Yep. So we didn't get to it yet. So we got to see. So we're bouncing off the prior resistance, not support, potentially. We got to see how we come into next week. But mind you, we're going to have this close here. So could it take a couple of weeks of going up and then reject? That could be pretty nasty. Right into the pivot. In the long term, it's healthy. But, you'd rather have pain in the market now as opposed to holding it as long as you can and be it much, much worse in the future. So in order to grow, we need to go through some pains here.
Yeah, I mean, it's natural. The market isn't always just going to go up.
Right. Not a meme. Let's look at individuals and see how we did this week. So are we rich yet or?
Excuse me?
Are we rich yet?
Are we rich yet? Stop making fun of me.
So
I'm emotionally attached to Tesla.
Well, so coming as an update from last week. So last week we were looking at downside, and this played out beautifully. So we went down to our green box. Then during the week, I was pointing out this red zone here as a bounce. We hit it. Now we're rejecting. It's beautiful. I'm sorry about your Tesla.
No, I'm still up overall. I mean, I bought in a long time ago. So.
Let's look at the weekly. So weekly is looking promising. We could see a little bit of downside here. We closed so the lowest range on Friday was 659. Nope, I'm wrong on that. The lowest is 619. But we closed above the 21 exponential. So again, keep an eye on this 21 to 10 simple thing. It's free money, The longer time frame will take longer to play out. So this might be a week or two, maybe 3. Let's look at the oscillators on that. See if there's any promising. Well, you're getting a little bit of divergence here. You are popping out of the bands here. So there is a move to the upside warranted soon. Let's take a look. And boom, this is still converging. So the only thing I can say is watch for the weekly 21 exponential to 10 simple play. Let's look at the 1 day. The 1 day, we had that play of the 10 simple cross below the 21. Boom, test, drop, 89 now. I'd probably be looking somewhere around the zone, the 520, and that is above our previous zone. So we have an order block here. So there is a potential for a wick down, but I want to see it close above the 200 to remain pretty healthy. Now this is going to move higher. Let's see how far. 1, 2. So it's moving like $2 every day, something like that. So I'd be curious to see if this trend line holds some kind of significance over time. So maybe the 200 comes up to meet it. We'll see. But right now I'm looking for a little bit more downside. I would not be surprised to go and test this pivot, as we really haven't tested it. This is not a true test. This was just a test of that cross, which happened at the pivot. Very strong resistance. Maybe we got smacked down, just gap straight down. But this is a bounce zone. So you could come back and retest it, but as long as you hold this prior low at 619, I'd be looking for a test up to the 10 simple. Did we do that yet? No, we didn't. So maybe another $50. We have to see, but now we're getting this whole cluster area here. If we can close above this red zone on a weekly, where would that put us? Nice. Okay, so maybe above it. I mean below it. So maybe 690 into 700, somewhere around that zone. If we can close above it or into it, I can see a nice bounce to the 10 cent bull. So you know what? I'm gonna give it a week. I'm not gonna say another thing on this. I'm just gonna give it a week. So by Friday morning, I'll probably revisit it. But next weekly update, we can do a quick overview on this and see if we can get a nice $50 to $75 pop.
Okay.
Facebook, still in this range. Not much has changed. Let's see. Is there anything to play on the daily? I keep hitting the 2-day. Wow. Okay, that's a potential reversal, perhaps. Right at the 200. So keep an eye on that. That's a short-term play. I'm still looking for this breakdown. It hasn't been validated yet. Apple, I think this is the only one that didn't play nice with us. We were looking for from around, so I think it was back up here. Yeah. So this was dropping below the 50, and we were looking for a tap of the 89 and bounce up to meet across. This happened a lot faster than we were anticipating. So we couldn't even get that retest, but because we got smacked down and we never retested that cross, I'd be looking for some upside potentially, believe it or not. Let's see, can we line this up a little better? So I don't think the trend line broke yet. Yeah, we're still, I don't like diagonals, but this is looking okay. Daily, oh, yeah, okay, so the active is spreading from the base, so that's a potential reversal soon. Let's keep an eye on that. So what I can say is, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, for people that don't your custom indicators and whatnot, like how could we obtain some of this information? Like I know you have your high, medium, your slow, medium, fast down here, but I believe you said that was something custom that you had created. Yes. And this on the bottom, your base active STR, is that also something custom you had created?
Yes. So the bottom is volume based, and it separates the sell to the buys more specifically. As opposed to your regular volume candle, which doesn't really separate the green and red kind of thing. But that also interpolates the strength of the move itself. It has to do with the slopes of the EMAs. So yeah, you can look at it without looking at the indicator. The indicator just basically gives you the information pictorially for you to decipher in like 2 seconds. As opposed to me just looking at the chart, trying to figure out, okay, so this is like a 45-degree angle. This is going to go down after that. Okay, sure. Break this point. Sure. Or I can just look at this cross and say, well, this is going down. It's crossing the base area, and the strength is lowering. So this is a reversal. Let's short it.
Okay.
It's kind of like that. It's just a way for me personally. That's why I make these.
Yeah, you're condensing information, I guess.
Yeah, and it's very crucial when you're trying to scalp with options on a daily. So if you're getting to an hour play and use the 5 to 15 minute time frame, and you're playing the trends, but you're also actively looking for these reversal points, because part of options is you're chasing volatility. Yeah. So you want to get those bottoms, and then you get that spike up, and you sell before the price actually gets to the target, because then the volatility starts decreasing, and your biggest gain is actually in between, not at the end.
Yeah.
But we can get more into options later. I think Apple, I have a case here for a bounce. So now that we're updating, I am going to take that out. I'm just going to say anywhere between, where did my box go? Sorry. There we go. I want to see the zone hold. All right, so what I'm saying is if this holds, I'm looking for some upside, probably into this cluster right here at the pivot. So basically something like this. This could be the last hurrah, or you can see more upside. So maybe something up, down to this support zone and then higher, or just a complete rejection after that. We'll have to assess that. Although if it comes down, so if it comes up to the pivot and it comes down to the second support here, the S3 or the S2, that would build you a higher low. So we can, on the weekly, assess if that's a actual reversal for a long-term play, a swing play, if you will. However, if we cross down, I can see a support on 200, which will give us a retest of this diagonal trend line, and then further downside. We're just consolidating here into some kind of bear flag. You can kind of see it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can kind of see it. If we break down here and bounce up into the trend line, get rejected, and keep doing that, we end up building this sort of potentially, this is, just for the TA nerds, potentially a bear flag. And then we can see some downside. Just looking at that magic crystal ball, AMD, what do we got for AMD? AMD on the daily, another one that did pretty well. So we're looking for further breakdown once this broke. Yep, it needs to stay above this area though, or some hope. So we broke down on the morning briefs, the quick updates. I was looking for, after this drop, this gap down, pre-market, I was looking for a retest up here, and we got that to the wick, I believe. All right, 10 cents away, my bad. But it's pretty close. Then we got another drop. So what are we looking for as far as indicators? We're downside a little bit, not too much, maybe to a low of 84s. But I'll just say this, and I'll type it in. But so as long as on the daily, stay above, on a closing basis, above $82, you can potentially invalidate this rising wedge, or you can get above it and create this bear trap. Now if you stay below, I'd be looking for 73 to 77, then pop to, at that point, maybe 82 again. And revalue. Reassess, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Pretty straightforward. But I'm still staring at this 200. So 200 EMAs on a higher time frames like daily or weekly are kind of significant. Google was another good play. Coming into the week, last weekly recap, we were looking for some downside. So this whole week we were looking for red. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we closed below the 10 simple, and we're looking for a tap of the 21. I was hoping that this was going to be a slow cascade down, and this was going to come up a little bit faster to meet up with it, and that's why the hour is a little higher. But we set the 21 exponential, and because we fell down too rapidly, the EMA kind of just linger around here. So anyway, so we found support, and then during the morning quick updates, we stated that we're looking for the 10 simple touch, and look where it hit. Boom, right there.
Nice.
Sometimes that TA stuff works, huh? Then we dropped down to the 21. So as I stated before, so the way that you play these, once you find support in the 21, after a breakdown of 10 simple, you're looking for a bounce to the 10 simple, and then a drop. Once it drops, you want to see a support being held at the 21 for further upside. But I would not play this. I play the first bounce as a scalp, and it's a pretty good one too. It's 2014 to 2089. So what's that? $75 move. So that's pretty good, especially if you're playing options. That's 2 days. It's a perfect hold. Not too much delta there. I mean, not too much cost to hold that. No, once it drops, even if this holds, I would not play it until we find the close above the 10 simple. And then what you ideally want to see is the 10 simple. Whoop, I need to get an arrow. You want to see the 10 simple start to curl as the 21 is going up. And then as the price basically finds a bounce there and goes higher, then these start to kind of diverge here a little bit. That's a strong indication.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to see this hold. So if 21 holds, which basically I'm not looking to play anything this week. We need one more week of data to have a safer play, more of a conservative trader. 21 hold, watch for 10 simple to break. Otherwise, what's a down target? This is on daily. Looking for the R2, so maybe we can drop below the 21, test the 21. This is a bearish case. Test the 21, and then that'll give some time for the 50 exponential to catch up to this R2 as a previous resistance. Hopefully it'll find support, but we will see. And that in turn will close this gap. Interesting how that plays. So otherwise, breakdown. I can't type today. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. NVIDIA, do you have any questions on any of these that we're looking at?
Not yet.
Okay.
I mean, I have lots of questions, but I'm not gonna swarm the video.
No problem. Okay, so this one, again, so when we were looking at these, we're not taking plays until we find the price trading above here.
Right.
If we were to break and trade above here, consolidate on the high area here, so it could be right below it and then a break, that's sustainable. This is not sustainable. When your price goes straight up and breaks resistance, you're likely high probability of putting in a bull trap. You're just going to come straight down. Just
You
give
mean like
90%. I'm sorry?
like GameStop?
Yeah. So this could give it a little bit of bounce up, but I'm not interested until we break above or below if you want to play to the short side. But it's still something worth noting. So the reason why we're still going to keep looking at this one particular stock is because you have a formation. So you have something to go based off. And patience does pay off. For example, I keep going back to this because it's a similar formation as far as consolidation over time. Yes, it may take a couple of weeks, maybe even months, like this one did. I was watching paint dry. So we had this bull trap, came straight down, and we had these gainers. So we met our first target right about the consolidation, this order block, and even the bullish target right to the wick. So this is basically 100% move, right? What is this? Right from the break, straight up. All right, 60%. That's pretty good. So patience does pay off. So if we want to stare at this, see some consolidation, if we can stay above this area, we can allow the EMAs, MAs just to catch up. And then eventually these will, come down, come up together, converge. Then the price will eventually, go sideways, find support on it. As it trades sideways, it squeezes volatility. So volatility comes down. Once it does that, you basically, when people start losing interest, that's when your price moves. And so I want to keep an eye on this one. It could be a very profitable trade for a long term if we can play this out.
Okay.
WMT, wow, this one.
Yeah, not doing too well.
I mean, yeah, I'm actually Yeah, I'm speechless because we came straight down. I didn't think it was going to happen in 1 week. I was looking for maybe 2 3 weeks play. So our thesis last week was we were looking for a cross, and this came down way too fast. So because of this gap down, these EMAs and MAs just curl down way faster. Because if you see where the arrow was pointing at, that was where I was guessing, location wise, the area of where it was going to cross, and I was looking for a retest of that cross. However, this is still aligned to a resistance zone, so it wasn't just a random point. But all in all, we were looking for some downside to a 377, which we got, right there. That's where it closed. Looking at the weekly, oof, horrible. Monthly, come on, give me something bullish. So monthly closed right underneath the bear zone. Walmart. All right, so I'm looking for more downside. I want to see a tap of 21 exponential on the monthly. So it's going to take several weeks. I'm probably going to lose interest in this, and then it's going to run up. So looking at the 89 exponential, man, this is just getting crushed. Jeez. Interesting. I'm just trying to see if there's some sort of structure here.
Right.
No, it's not even a channel. And I guess try log. No, not really. Sorry if I'm moving the chart too much for you guys. I'm also trying a new mouse. Very annoying. All right, so overall, not good. Looking for further downside. I'll be a little happier if we can close. Let's see. All right, let's look at the daily.
So just reading this article that popped up, it says Walmart hires 2 Goldman Sachs bankers to lead new fintech venture.
What are they
About
doing?
an hour. Yeah, I don't know.
Going from retail trade to food retail to finance. Interesting. Oh, I think they were trying to do something similar to Amazon. So I don't know. I don't know what's in play there. But as far as
I mean, they already have their own. I know they have a partnership with Western Union, and I think they might have moved away from them and started their own cash checking and wire transfer service. That was a while ago, though.
Interesting. All right, so we'll keep it on their watch list. I'm gonna extend this resistance area. We need to regain it to see further upside, and definitely a break of this. However, right now I do see a bounce coming into next week. A lot of these are going to bounce just to give us a relief to reset all the oscillators so we can see more downside if it's, if that's the path we're going to. But I can see this coming up here to a 10 simple.
Okay.
At the water port, those who are listening.
I forgot. I guess these headsets really sensitive.
So what are we looking for? We're looking for around. All right, how about this? Going down to 377. Let's wrap this one up. Taking too long. I want to see another touch to 377. Once I see that, I want to see maybe consolidation, if not a strong bounce, like a quote unquote V shape, but it's not going to be a V shape. It's just going to give you a little dead cat for now, and then we'll reassess. But I'm looking for 135 about. Yeah, so I'm looking at the P2, P1, which are the more immediate ones, these two right here. to offer us some resistance along with this S3 that you see right there. So let's build us a range just based on those. Looking for here, looking to the left. I like it. All right, so that's what we're looking for. I want to see a bounce to that, and then we'll see. Yeah, I'll hold my thoughts to that, but we do have a trend line forming here. The downside, it might get retested eventually. We have fallen pretty significantly, and sorry, we did do it on a nice divergence too, where the price is going up. Yeah, I'll show you in the weekly. Price is going up, but the strength and the oscillators were going down. So that was a good top. However, I want to see a little bit more downside. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I like this better now. So a little bit of downside, 3 cents down on a daily, and then I want to retest the 50 exponential. If we can get above it, which I doubt, especially on the first tap, you can potentially do this. Go up to the 50, right around this order block that we just built here, and then drop down to meet the 89 exponential on the weekly. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
All right, so we'll revisit next week. I want to see that weekly close. But if you're playing intraday, look for that bounce.
Yeah.
Finish that one. Beyond meat.
Oh God.
What do we get? Oh, look at that. All right, so we met our target. So we're looking for the 200 to hold on a daily. It did at first with a nice hammer. I think I was following this on, all of these. We're looking daily, quick updates. And I was looking for this cross to be retested. Well, look how beautiful that was. Right up to the cross. Where are we going to open on Monday? The first down. So that's a confirmation on the Monday. Your price is already down here. So can we meet it up to here and reverse it? I don't know. It's going to be hard. I'm not sure. Looking at the weekly. Let's look at the weekly. Not good. You're getting rejected. So not good. You're crossing down. At best, you can see a bounce right at the bear zone here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll see if it gets further continuation, but it's not good. So what do we have here? So beyond meat, I was ultimately looking for around the 125, which I'm still looking for. So 125, 121, something like that. Low 120s. That's what I'd be looking for.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right around this. What is that? Is that the S2? No, the S1, 130. Yeah, so 120, 130. So I'm looking for more downside. Look at the monthly. I mean, monthly's crossed up, so that could take a few weeks. Now, keep an eye on this though. So we are coming into next week, which could offer a potential bounce. However, the weekly has a bearish posture. Okay, but the monthly is crossing up. We have not crossed down. We have too little data to begin with, but just looking at this, you could have a play into the 21 exponential. This could take several weeks, but my point here is that we're just going sideways. So I'm not interested. Unless you're doing options and trading intraday, I would not touch this right now. Unless you're already in it, then just keep your stop losses accordingly. Not financial advice. But I'm not really interested in this too much right now. The downside plays, the majority of the profit is already there. After this cross that we're looking at throughout the week. So we got the bounce, now we got the rejection. Unless you're already in shorts, just wait and see. If you're in longs, you already took profit at the cross, so just wait and see. GME, oh God. Why do we still have this here? Oh yeah.
It's a joke stop.
Do you remember this one? We had We had somebody on TikTok give us a nice comment saying this is the daily, yeah. So we were looking at this formation, and if the formation broke to the upside, which it did on 4-hour confirmation, right at this close, so around 40s, right at this here, we broke above it. The white lines were just conservative targets. So basically looking for upside to hit here, which it did on this close. And then what I would have done, again, not financial advice, but the way I would have played this, just sharing my opinion, is I would have gotten right at the break. Actually, sorry, right at the higher low. So on this candle right here. So let's say at finding support at the 10 simple, yes, it would have broken down, but my stop loss would have been at this wick. So it didn't hit. Again, this is hindsight, yes, but this is how I would trade it. Once this broke up, I'm raising my stop loss to my order block here. It never got hit. Then this all happened after hours. And, you know, happenstancely, I happened to see that comment on TikTok of a guy just saying, I'll give you $500 if it does actually hit, what was it, 150 or something, or 200? I think it was 150 this week alone. 150. And overnight it hit $200. Wow, on the dot. 200 on the dot.
Use that money.
Yeah.
Fork it up.
So I humbly decline that. However, I'm not saying this to be an ass. What I wanted to point out is that, you know, I'm not trading with emotions. I'm trading with technical analysis.
Right.
As I stated throughout the week, I'm sure, and last weekend, you know, fundamentals have kind of gone out the window. So I'm not even looking at that. News are absolutely garbage. They are either late or they are swayed to one side or the other in someone else's benefit. If you notice, when the news come, it's too late. So that is why I believe that retailers in general buy the tops and they sell the bottoms, because that's around where the news hit. I can tell you a story of Tesla. You know, I bought at 178. This was 2019, I think. Don't quote me on that year, but it was 178. This was before the split, before the big rise, after like the 6-year consolidation. I remember seeing a ton of articles, news just coming out saying that Tesla's going to $10, $20. I think it was JP Morgan. And it was just, you know, it was worrying me, but, you know, I just turned everything off and just waited. I gave it a week. That was my game plan. I set my stop losses. I didn't even look at it. And I came back and it was like 250 or something. And I took my profit around 300. I haven't bought back other than to do short-term plays. But my point of that is that, you know, when it gets the most bearish, that's when I get more interested. Again, it has to be a good stock, a good company, not a garbage company like GME, I'm sorry to say. But yeah, this was interesting. I did not play this straight to the upside. I got out around here where the 200 exponential was. That seemed reasonable, and I put my orders after hours. I did not expect this, but yeah, this is your classic bull trap. After your big rise, bull trap, and you see this a lot in altcoins and cryptocurrencies. But that's all I have to say to that. This is probably done, and I'm sure some people, just to get people's attentions, are probably going to say, well, no, we're building a bullish flag. You know, maybe so. I think I said I wouldn't be surprised if it even hits up here to the pivot, but I'm not holding my breath. And I think this is on daily. Yeah, okay. Yeah, 275. Like, I would consider this already closed, this gap, if you're even a gap trader. I just don't want to hold my breath on this. This is probably going lower. AMC, enough on that. This got the same move as GME, a little bit stronger maybe. We were looking for this hammer at the beginning of the week, right around this consolidation. We got the target and it exceeded. Again, another gap play here, closed. Sorry, I wouldn't be surprised to see the pivot get hit, but again, this is not healthy.
Yeah.
Let's look at like, do you really think that this is going to break the uptrend? Maybe. I mean, but we really need to get above what? We need to get about $21. That's more than 100% rise right now. So if you want to hold for that,
Yeah, I don't think so.
yeah, if you want to hold your breath for that, you're losing money even if you're not losing money. How so? Opportunity cost.
Yeah.
That's how you should look at it as a trader. Is you're losing opportunity costs. You can be making money on a different play instead of waiting around for this to hit, which holds its own risk. So you're losing money just by waiting.
Right.
This one, was this yours? Yeah, I think you brought up BlackBerry. Yeah, so I'm still looking for this target to hit. I think on the daily, I was saying that, yeah, we almost hit it. You know, I came really close to it. I was looking for the cross retest. It got below it. Because it didn't actually hit the retest, I was saying that you can potentially build a bear trap here, and I'm going to see a bounce. We got the bounce. Now, based on the weekly, I'm still looking for this zone to hit. So we could potentially see a little bit more downside. Let's look at the oscillators. Yep, definitely downside. Confirmation right there. Rejection, trying to get out of the bear zone. Nope, slap down. We do have a bit of a divergence, which could contribute to this this pivot here. But that play is already taken, so I'm moving away from that. It's enough of that. Alibaba. Now we were saying here, there were no place to take, but we were eyeing it. You must get above the pivot to remain up. We got up, I think, on one tick. So one day, we just zoom in. So we were able to get above the pivot on this candle. And I said it was looking promising because of the formation of the candle. However, we needed to get above this area right here. Why? You have the 200. If you stay above the 200, you still remain to the upside. Now you have this case. You have a cross coming up. What's going to happen? What do you think?
What do I think is going to happen?
Yes. Looking at the chart and the 10 simple and the 21 potentially crossing by Monday close.
I mean, I would say that it might reverse. I'm just having trouble seeing just too many lines there for me.
Sorry. I wonder if
so your 10 simples are red and your 21 EMA is a yellow, right? Or orangish?
Yeah, orange, yeah.
I mean, they both seem like converge and go in the same direction, but I'm not entirely sure.
So because we crossed down below the 200, this I would consider a retest of that. Then we got smacked down. You could be looking for a 377 touch, and at that point, what is that at? 230. Yeah, so I can see another drop to the 233, 234, somewhere around there. Let's mark that up as a where's the color? There we go, green. So you could potentially see that as a support zone, and you have like the medium of the volume, the meat of this whole zone here, potentially supporting you. However, I would cap this whole move if it comes up a little bit to like here.
Yeah.
And that's what we have that remain to the upside of the pivot. So if we can get above this, so get above the pivot, consolidate, push up, and then we'll see if we can break this. But if we can't, what does this look like to you?
Looks like an uptrend. Oh.
Yeah. Does that look like a bear flag to you?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, no, I'm sorry, bull flag.
Yeah, inverse chart, right? Now, in all seriousness, if we can stay above on the monthly, the next month, if we can stay above 130, basically around this area, I'll draw a bigger one. If we can stay above this area. The yellow box, if we can stay above that on a monthly close, we can see more upside, in my opinion. But
Okay.
it's looking like it wants to go to like 160, something like that. Oh, look at the monthly. Where is that going to? Right at the 21 exponential. Zoom in for you. Look at those deltas in your face. All right, so 21 exponential right there. Coming down to the 21 exponential. You already had that 21 to 10 simple play right here. So this second one's crucial just to watch. So I'm not even going to touch this just based on the monthly. I want to see this hold, and then unfortunately, just as this box is drawn, I want to see the 10 simple get broken. So this is your range. So if you're a range trader, there you go. You have your range. So on intraday, you can make your plays with options or whatnot. What is this garbage stock? Is this one of yours? Is this one of yours?
Yeah, I don't have that anymore. I just thought it was funny. I know it's garbage stock. Look at the 5 year. It's like it was from like $30, went down to like 69 cents.
Oh my goodness.
It's not even on your screen.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I made money on it, but that was a day trade. That was like my one in the week.
Yeah, this is a reversal hammer, right? To the upside. Just kidding.
Yeah, you can just take that one. Just take that one off the list because that's old news.
But let's just review what we put though, just to close it up. So just for record keeping, I guess. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we were there, right? We were here at the last Sunday, and we're saying that we want to see a break down of this area. So I was looking for this zone, which we closed into it. We got a little bounce and more rejection, but overall just downside. It's similar to like GameStop and even AMC. Yeah, I'm gonna take this off. Just don't trade this. Like I was saying, stay above this area for an uptrend.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if it comes back in the news, we'll revisit it just to keep some people safe. But I'm gonna take that off. Next up, JP Morgan, the one that only goes up, right? So we hit our target right up there. Oh, I just moved it. Yeah, we hit our target right to the top of the trend line. I was looking for a warning on this horizontal. That's what the green zone is, the green arrow, sorry. But it could overshoot into the top of the trend line. Powerful right there. So now what do we got? Let's see, daily oscillators down. Oh, beautiful. Divergence straight down. Let's see. Monthly. Sorry, my mouse is getting stuck. Monthly. Look at that. Oh man, that's beautiful. Just love it. So 150 on a weekly close, looking for $10 higher. What do we get? We got 154.90. I think I was off on that. I was hoping that this would close. Let's look at the weekly. Close not too high, or sorry, I was looking for the move to be sort of orderly, so that way we can trade into the R4 right in between the two. So around here, that given time, basically creating like a rising wedge and then break down. But this went too fast, too high, too fast. Right there, right at the tips. So now we got a reversal candle here. Let's look at the monthly. I think the monthly is due for a pullback. see. But now, see, to your point of what you were asking about looking at the indexes. So look at this formation on the monthly, right?
Yeah.
And let me take these off so you can kind of see. Okay. Is that clear, right? So you got this, you know, orderly downtrend, spike up, whip down, and then up. And again, you're building a higher high, right? But you have lower lows. Now look at SPY, which is what, you know, is part of it. It's the same thing, right? So by looking at the indices, you're almost getting a glimpse of everything that's in there. The only differences are the percentages.
It's true.
So going back to JP Morgan, I think if I hit the 168, 618. So yeah, I think this move might be done. What am I looking for? Yeah, so I'd probably be looking for something like this, somewhere around this range.
Okay.
But potentially a drop into this red box and then a bounce. We'll see if it holds on the weekly. So I'm looking for this to happen. I'm gonna take this because that's not relevant anymore. And then this out. Just looking for the white arrow. Okay.
Yeah.
SOS. Is this one of yours?
Yeah. I was just curious about that one. That one was a gainer for a while, but this is another one. Look at the the long-term drop. It's crazy.
Let's see. Oh my God. My eyes. My eyes. Let's look at the daily. Let's see what we put down. You know, just for giggles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we were here. We're looking for downside. We were very hopeful. But yeah, I don't like this stock. It went up too high. Closed the gap already. That's done. Finding some support in this area. Okay, that's a relevant zone. What do you think?
I think it's junk. I just was curious because, like I said, it was coming up on my watch list as a top gainer. Let me see. I think probably a lot's changed in the last week. So let me check Webull and see what.
I'm gonna put a note here. I'll keep an eye on it just for one more week. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fine.
So I'm gonna say this: if we can stay above 4.8, stay above 4.8 on a weekly close. Those have some hope. Opium. There you go. Until then, it's death. What do you got?
Sounds good.
All right. Should I move on from this one?
Yeah.
All right. You. Not to be narcissistic. That's energy fuels and it has to do with uranium, I believe. It's like a miner or something.
Right.
We're looking for potential top. Not to call it top, but I think it's a top. This is going to give you a divergence, I believe. Yep. Okay. So between here and here, you're looking at divergence pretty nicely. Right. So where your indicators, the top of the indicators go down, the peaks and the peaks go up here. You don't have hidden divergence, which would be over here. Yeah, no, it's fine. Okay, so yeah, you have divergence here. You have the cross down. Now your strength is on the negative zone now. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the spread was giving you right here was giving you your top. Yep. Oh, right at the candle. Perfect. You already had your, as I pointed out throughout the week, you had your 21 exponential to a 10 simple play, and then down. We got that. This is tricky because we closed above the 21. However, let's see. So daily close above 5. What do we do? 507. Potential for and simple. And now that's the second time it's going up. So let's just hold until it's done simple.
Okay.
But other than that, on the weekly, just want to point something out here. Weekly, we have not touched 10 simple yet. 10 simple is coming in next week about 468. And if we do end up going there, what is happening here? Our strength is going to the negative, and we're crossing down our slow, which is going to offer up a bearish case right there. On top of that, you have that clear divergence happening here. Right. So we're looking for more downside potentially. But if we can hit the 10 simple and bounce off of that, that's going to give us a nice, oh, well, that's what, like 30 cents move? Yeah. And then probably more downside. We'll see. Just again, like most of these stocks, you just got to give it another week because right now the plays were already made last week. And you got to get more data to see if we can find some pivots.
Fair enough.
Bitcoin, this beautiful,
BTC.
beautiful bastard. Sorry. Again, we haven't touched this since last week, and throughout the week we're just giving small updates here and there. Just give data so you can see how beautiful this was. 24. Okay. So I don't know if you can see, but the wick hits about the 10 simple. And this was just hand, just freely drawn. All right. So what we got to, so today's Sunday, Saturday. Sorry, I gotta go back. Oh, I guess I can go based on the dates. What was last week's date? 21st?
Yeah.
February 21st. Okay. So we had this candle that we're looking at, and I was looking for a support after the 21 simple, a play bounce to the 21 exponential, sorry, and then a bounce to the 10 simple. We hit it with the wick, and then I was looking for a downside. So I was basically looking for some up, down, retest to 21, find support, and then straight up to the 10 simple, followed by rejection, which we got. And we were looking for a 50 exponential bounce, which is coinciding with this support. And so far we've gotten to 43,000 about, and this is around 40 to 41,000 zone. Now on the daily, we are getting this 10 simple potential cross with the 21. Again, same plays. These are all in the tops, right? So now look in the past. Again, history often often rhymes, but never repeats the same way. So you got these drop to 21, up to 10 simple, breakdown of the 21, which we got, and then down to the 50 exponential. Then I've been looking for a retest up this cross right up here. And then we'll see. If that doesn't hold, or it doesn't even happen, then we're going to see further continuation, probably to the 200 exponential, which is where this target zone, which is resistance, could offer potential for support, which is around the lower 30,000s. Do I see that happening? Not yet. I want to see what happens to this order block right here. If we can break this on a, we can go as far as daily, daily close, then that's good. 12 hour, I think we're going to offer up a bounce potential. Let me take a look. All right, so 12 hour, stay above 12 hour. What would that be? Actually, we need to stay above 44,000, 44,600, something like that. So we can stay above that. We're okay. Otherwise, down we go. 41 to 42K. But I'm still eyeing this area right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, weekly. Sorry, let me take this off. Let me take, oh no, I need that. So we haven't touched the 10 simple since last October. It's been quite a run. Now, typically, and let me point something out here. If you go to BLX, that is, what is this, Latino Americano? I'm looking at Bitcoin liquid index.
Mm-hmm.
BLX, that basically gives you all a history of, I think it does, right? Yeah. Let's see, daily. Oh, I thought I'd give you more data than that. That's strange. All right, sorry. Let me look at a different exchange then. Not Bitfinex, Beta. Bitcoin. So let's do BTC USD. Bitstamp. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, much better. Yeah, so I was looking for history. Let's look at the weekly on this. Oh my God. You know, when you take it out of log, it really puts into perspective. Let's look at Bitcoin when it was a penny. I just want to point out these trends. Might be important for some.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
So on the uptrends, Bitcoin tends to retest the 21 exponential. Retest, and that's how you know it's healthy as long as you get it closed. You might get an outlier of one candle, but never above that, never past that. Once you start closing candles below the 21 exponential, that's when you can get some sort of confirmation of downtrend reversal. And then on the uptrend, you can see how, you know, it goes above the 10 simple, then the 10 simple gets away from the 21, it needs to come down. Comes down, retests the 21, the 10 simple comes closer to a 21, and up we go. And it keeps just repeating, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Same thing here, same thing here. Let me just bring this lower so you can see better. 21 exponential again, up again. Now here is where it gets interesting. So it closes below it. I want to see it pop. You're gonna get that cross. This is probably your warning signal. You got 1, 2 candles. This might not work. Actually, this one over here. Yeah, so you came down here. This area is where we give you some kind of confirmation that you need to get out of your longs from over here. Now, yes, that's you know, it gets you out a little later. You know, you don't get the 9% rise or whatever it was, but you can still get from here to here. You can still get a decent amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, same thing here. Comes down. Now, when this crosses up and the price is trading above it with it, then this is your entry point, right? Your weekly, it seems to never break the 200 exponential for some reason, so that's good. Same thing with here when you had the COVID dump, that's good. So this is your confirmation of the uptrend. Play it. So you get into, let's say here, then it drops, it starts trading below the 21 weekly, and then you get out here. Chunk of chain right there. I mean, obviously you could have gone out with this ginormous wick over here, but again, you don't trade it, so it's still coming up. The price is above it, so you don't trade it. Price is below it, going up. Now you find support, right? Now when it comes above it again and then retests it, and this is crossing up, this is your entry area. So now let's look at what's happening here. We have not tested the 10 simple. Well, we came really close. here, but we are not tested at 10 simple this entire run up.
Yeah.
What is that suggesting? It's suggesting that there's a this is just starting, and it's crazy to say, but I think this is just starting, and I'm not a what would you say, a Bitcoin
Connoisseur.
I'm not I forget what it's called, but basically I'm not gung ho in this. I'm just a trader, so I'm not
Yeah.
believing or putting my emotions into it as much as others would do. But I do see this as a healthy downside. I mean, I want to retest this pivot ideally, which is coinciding with the 21 exponential. So I want to see this go down, up. This is my ideal. I'm not saying this is going to happen. Then down to the pivot, which is around this order block. Then I'm probably going to see some upside to like 75,000. I always get these backwards. I don't know why. And where would that put me? Right at the 618 there. So that's kind of my ideal situation as far as a play. So I want to see this drop a little bit more. This is healthy, just go sideways. And then this is probably going to go up to test the top, you know, retrace, may consolidate, and then up it goes. Retrace, up it goes. Something like that. Just something to keep an eye on. I don't think that this is going to drop so much. However, the only thing I can say is that if the entire market as a whole decides to just take a big poop, then this might follow suit. So there's a thinking that gold, for example, and any precious metals are the go-to as the safe havens, for example. But it's not. It's not. If you notice the trends, gold tends to drop with the market as well. It drags it down. Bitcoin hasn't done the opposite as the market has. And this has only been around since 2009. When did the crash happen? Right before it.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen a significant drop other than last year's, which, you know, we saw this huge dump. It hurt a lot of people. In a very fast-paced drop. We also saw the previous drop, which gave us this bear market. So I don't think it's immune to a market drop as a whole and the markets overall. So if that does happen, it would decide to turn this year instead of just a plain correction for the month of March and April, for example. I can see this going further, but as long as we're above this pivot, I don't see a problem on the weekly.
Okay. All right, good.
Monthly's expanding. That's good. We need a retest. So I want to see this come back down to the bands. However, if we start coming down and we get potentially to a cross, if it wants to cross, you gotta look at it with this because this is going negative while this is going up. Very interesting. You're gonna build this divergence. And there's a clear divergence. So we want to see this go sideways. We don't want this going straight down. Sideways is good. Retracements are good. Bear market's not good. API, oh my God. API monthly. I say this one's done. See that candle in monthly. That's awful. All right, let's look at the daily. Daily, I think we bounced up to here. Might as well, just for fun. I'm not gonna play it, but just for fun. 200, I think it holds for a little bit. I might get a bit of a bounce here. I might cap it to like 60. What would it be? 60, 70, something like that, somewhere around here. Yep. Netflix, rapid fire. Do we have a formation here? Nah, I don't think so. So must hold for hope. We're holding.
Yeah.
Barely, but we are holding.
Barely or bullishly?
I see what you did there. 12-hour down. Let's look at the daily. Daily down. Huh. But you're retesting the bearish zone basically. So you came out of the bearish zone, you retested it. A little too early. Would have been nice to see it right at the cross. We did it before that. So yeah, it still stands. So you need to hold this pivot. Must hold pivot. Feel more explicit for hope. And let's see. Opium. All right. Doku sign. These are people that do Dropbox. No, Dropbox separate, right?
What is this? I can't see the ticker.
I'm sorry. Doku. Let me put this up. Doku sign.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
This is a nice candle on the daily.
Is it Doku sign or Doku sign?
Oh. My foreign Tourette's kicking in.
Yeah, it's an electronic signature and agreement cloud. I never heard of it though.
I want to see this area hold for a bounce. That's a nice candle. It gives you a little hope. You know, you got a nice little hammer there. You do have on the indicators, let's see, anything with a daily? Nope. Weekly down, turning into negative. Oof, that's not good. So it's the first time they're closing below the 21 in a year. So we could see further downside. So first target around here. I mean, overall, I'm probably looking at this. But I want to see a bounce though coming into the week. A lot of these things, like I said, you know, I think we need to reset a little bit. We've been going down pretty fast. Bitcoin. Oh, I didn't. Interesting. So this one that I added, BTC1 exclamation mark. So this is for CME futures on Bitcoin, which I said I feel like it holds more weight than spot price because weekends are good for you know, fuckery or whatever you call it. So Bitcoin a monthly, you have, I mean weekly, sorry. This Zoom box is messing me up. So the weekly, you have a cross down and you have confirmation, third confirmation going down to losing the bullish control zone. That's not good. Your best case scenario, like I said, is that you bounce up to 10 simple, reset this a little bit to retest it after the breakdown for the second time, and then you fall down to the 21 exponential. I'd probably be a buyer, just punting some longs here at the 21 exponential weekly. But looking at CME futures, I mean that's not a pretty candle, but yeah, it's not too bad. It's gonna offer some potential opportunities. Let me just zoom in for you guys. Potential opportunities probably around the 41. That's what we're still looking at. Around 40, 41,000, and then a bounce, and then probably down to the 30s.
Okay.
That's probably my lowest, just a pivot. I don't think we're dead, so to speak. But again, NASDAQ just going sideways kind of thing. That these candles are not good. NASDAQ is probably the most bearish out of all three. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Do you have any other tickers or? I think there was some news on Boeing, wasn't there?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, maybe we could do like a technical to fundamental theorization of, you know, how that could potentially affect the stock or if the news of the Boeing engine failure, which is technically a Pratt & Whitney engine that was on a United Airline flight, how that could potentially affect any of those stocks, if it even does, or, you know,
All right, so
fundamental.
let's take a look. So what day of the week did the news come out?
Well, the article that I have is from. Okay. Yeah, it's cool. You don't have to load or anything. It's from. I have one from Thursday of the 25th, and then I have one from Tuesday of the 23rd.
Okay, so that's the earliest of that. Does any of them tell you a day by any chance?
Yeah, so it was the 20th that it happened.
The 20th. Okay. So that's interesting. So 23rd to 225. I'm just, this is just for, just curious to see how the charts play out within those days as opposed to 221,
220.
220, when it actually happened.
Yeah.
And let's build a theory, so to speak. So on this one, I was telling some of the Discord channels that I'm part of that I was looking for this to kind of retest this area. This is a big fat finger for you traders, right? Big fat middle finger right there, right?
Yep.
This had a neckline somewhere around there, and it pretty much met its target, right? Down to 200. And what I was looking for is to try to retest this resistant area. Now, what I could see happening here, and I haven't looked at the oscillators yet, this is just looking, is channeling up potentially. So going up, and let me take these out so you can see better. Channeling up. So right now we hit the median, we're getting rejected to it, we can potentially come down to it, and then maybe some further upside. I don't know. But if this can hold, that'd be good for some upside, because there's not that much resistance here.
Yeah.
But again, I'm looking at the monthly. Let's see. Yeah, there's not that much. And you got this gap over here, this gap. Oh, nice. You got a gap fill to come up here. Got another one over here. That's ways away. So there's not that much resistance on the way up or the way down until we hit this base zone. Pardon me. Now let's look at the oscillators. Weekly, not too much to look at. Monthly, well, monthly got you in nicely here. Got some strength coming up. Bands are coming down. All right, so daily, let's look. I have no opinion on the higher time frames other than I'm looking for a retest of here. Reason why, in my opinion, is that you need to get more liquidity in order to either come down, and if we can break it, then that's good. We're gonna go higher, gonna make a new all-time high. But
yeah,
actually, you know what? Let's do higher time frame here. One, two. Sorry, I'm just trying to see where we're at right now.
so good.
All right, so on this drop, I think the weekend's got a little better. All right, so on this drop, we are finding an algo target. That was beautifully done right there. Then taking that out, we are finding resistance along here on the 382. All right, so if we can get above this median, this was a very strong pivot, a resistance point. So it's naturally how we got rejected. I'm not looking at fundamentals, putting aside the dates that you gave me. I'm just looking at how this is showing. So yeah, so this is very important. This spot right here is a lot of resistance there from a technical side. Oop, just move that. Okay. So let's look at the oscillators. Just trading sideways. Daily looks like it's coming down a little bit. Yeah, I can see that's coming down a little bit more. Now let's put your dates up, right? So we got, what was it, 23rd to the 25th, right?
Those were the two news dates that I had, but the incident happened on the 20th.
Okay, so 23rd is here, and the 25th is here. Okay, make that different colors. Make that red, use flash. And your other was 23rd, right? I think I need to zoom in. Oh no, 20th, sorry. You said the 20th is when it happened, right? Yeah. Oh, that was a weekend, okay. All right, so it can't be on the 19th, obviously, so it has to go the day before. Okay, so what do we got here? So looking at this, we got a retracement, looks bearish. I'm looking for the golden pocket. 278. Sounds like Tron is in your background.
Yeah, no, the main road that's right outside my apartment always has, modified cars with their big exhaust on. So
that's pretty cool.
You'll hear the. It's fine. Either that or they just had some holes in their exhaust. I don't know.
All in good fun. Okay. So this one is calling to go up here. Let's look at the pre-market, get a little more data. What is this? Extended hours, okay, that's good. Oh, I see. Okay, so extended hours had a little bit higher. Okay, it's very constructive. Okay, so the technical point of view here is that you have a bit of an inverse head and shoulders where, actually I think I have a tool here for that. Head and shoulders, okay. So you have a left shoulder, you have a head, you have a right shoulder. Okay, and these typically play out in this fashion where you got this like that. Where is that hitting? So basically like a double top or giving you some divergence. That would be your play if you're bullish.
Yeah.
You're halfway there. However, you got knocked down. So this was a bull trap. You see these a lot in crypto. They play out like 33 or 36% of the time. So the only thing I say is that, yeah, we're looking for some upside because this could be, I'm saying before the news. So you can either see this as a inverse head and shoulder, or you can see it as a cup and handle. However, this right side action wasn't your typical for your handle of the cup. You had a I can't deal with this one. you had a bit of a expanding wedge here. See how you have higher highs, lower lows, similar to how SPY has it.
Yeah.
And then you had the big spike up when you broke above it. I'd say this right here is already met.
Okay.
So if I want to be conservative, I just take the range of the potential handle or potential right shoulder, and that target's already made. So even if this was like a bull trap, that's where we're looking at. You kind of hit it, so that would be what I'd be looking at without looking at the news. Now you said the news hit on the 20th, right? And we weren't trading on the 20th. So that was a Saturday. The first candle was positive. So we're still in the formation. I don't know. Interesting. I mean, ignoring the news, I mean, this was looking bullish as a setup. It's just consolidating above right in the resistance area with a potential setup here to break up. And then your news on the news, the actual news themselves, broke up between here, the 23rd, and the 25th. That was literally your rise up. So what can you see about that? You're gonna have people, let's say, let's build this theory. So the news break out later than the moves actually happen.
Yeah, of course.
If you throw out negative news, you're gonna want your retailers. I'm not saying this to offend anyone, but that's the way you call them. Is your dumb money. You want them to sell while you're trying to buy. So you want to trap shorters on negative news. And in turn, if you liquidate them, then you create this higher rise. It's similar to like GME. So maybe the news broke out to induce a volatile move, which we got. And instead of the full target, we basically just made this run up to fill some shorts.
That's what kind of shorts?
Short shorts.
Short shorts?
Short shorts.
Ooh.
Easy.
Do you know who wears short shorts?
Family Guy, huh? What was the other one though? UAL, right?
Yeah, so UAL is United Airlines, and since the article I was reading was saying that only United Airlines uses the 777s with those motors in them. Those engines, sorry.
Ooh. Got a nice racing wedge here.
Excuse me, what'd you say about my...
You got a nice racing wedge.
Okay.
So what is this telling you? Let's see.
Someone's doing a burnout outside.
It's a nice place you live.
It is a nice place. What are you talking about? I like this area.
All right, UAL. Without looking at the oscillators, I think this is going to come down. I'll have a cross. Yeah, you have a cross here. So this is going a little bit lower with expansion of the active to the base. So this confirmation of a top. You do have a wedge forming. We have three touches to the bottom, 2 on the top. It is a formation here. Okay, so what am I looking for? Looking for 47, probably something like that, maybe. 45, 47, something like that. Basically, it's 382. You need to hold if you want to see more upside. But this is forming a wedge, which is typically bearish. Signaling continuation. We want to see a breakdown for confirmation. Otherwise, this could just be a rising wedge for basically we test up here.
So the that big drop though there, it looks kind of indicative of the whole COVID thing.
January 20th. Yeah. So
let's go back. Kind of fundamentally makes sense.
Go back in time. So right here, you're coiling up for a big move. Looking at the oscillators don't tell you much. You have to look at a weekly. Weekly is also coiling up. Doesn't tell you much. Again, go to the monthly. Monthly looks like it's having failure to break the median, and it's probably coming down. Let's look at the 3-month, which is a quarterly. Interesting. So quarterly has this happening, which is why I was saying formations are stronger and oscillators. So let's see how this played out. I haven't seen this before, so play it with me.
Okay.
Let's get out of time. Oh, look at that. Which says technical analysis doesn't work.
Me.
You had your formation, which is building kind of a bearish case. Then you're coiling up on the weekly and the daily. You're basically getting ready for a move, and that's how you set it up. So you look at your direction on the higher time frames, and then you're pinpointing down the lower the time frames you go to try to find that move, kind of time it, so to speak. So this is what I've been looking at. This got overshot though, but yeah, downside. So there's your COVID. You could have seen it. I mean, you know me. I was pretty worried coming November 2019 into December 2019, but I did not know the fundamentals of why it would move a certain way. So the news came out, and unfortunately, is where we're at right now. But
I mean, all those travel restrictions made it pretty obvious that flight stocks were gonna probably plummet. Because realistically, I mean, most people would probably get emotional about it, and they would assume the same thing and start selling, and yada yada yada.
When did this come out? 2006. Huh. Interesting. All right, so I've been looking for some downside. In short, I've been looking for some downside, no pun intended, to around this block area, somewhere around here to retest this. If it breaks down, I wouldn't short it. Not financial advice. I wouldn't short it until it retests the breakdown. Then it'll be safer. So this is in line with that boring news that you were talking about. What was the other thing? Pratt Whitney you mentioned. That's part of United Technologies, right?
Yeah.
UTX. Oh, we can't trade that.
Yeah, I don't.
United Technologies. United Airlines? No.
Yeah. I think it might be private. I think it actually is private. I think it's like one of the biggest private companies, maybe. I don't know. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Interesting. Yeah, I remember hearing about Palantir. I'm just gonna add that. Just one last one to add there, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Let's put in our watch.
Yeah, it's traded on the New York Stock Exchange as UTX. I don't know why it's not coming up though.
That's weird. All right, daily. Hello. There we go. Daily rejection, failure to get above. That gave you this drop right here. Let's look at our EMAs. Oh, nice. So test of the cross, rejection, straight down to 89. There's not that much data in this, so I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd just be watching it. But I think Arc Industries. What's it called? Those Kathy Wood. I think she's the lead of that.
Not sure.
She's a big buyer of Tesla.
Okay.
And I think she was buying a bunch of this for some reason. But
check RTX. Apparently, United Technologies merged with Raytheon, and that was only in April. So maybe that's why they don't have a ticker anymore. I don't know.
Hang on one second. So weekly, it's coming down to 21. If this holds, you probably see a test of this support line, resistance, come down to 21. Once it holds, then we're looking for a 10 simple. So that's my play on that. What was the ticker that you were mentioning?
RTX.
RTX. Oh, Raytheon. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess United Technologies merged with Raytheon, so maybe they don't have an individual ticker anymore.
Well, that's a bad candle. Yeah, that's a bad candle. It's like no wicks at the bottom either. Just a solid wick there.
Jeez, yeah.
Let's look at daily.
Oh,
Negative, yeah. All right, so for RTX, we're taking down to the negative. We're probably gonna come back up to 10 simple, but ultimately, let's just give it a big target. Big fat target to the pivot. As long as we're below 73, 72, somewhere around there. So as long as we're
okay.
below this, I'd be looking for some downside. So failure to regain, say 73 to 75, 75, 76. Let's say 76, 75, 85. So let's round up. Looking for more downside. Okay. Do you have any more?
Oh, that sounds like it's it.
All right, guys. So if you have any tickers that you want us to take a look, and just drop it on the comments below. And just to explain further, because I did have a comment from somebody telling me that the morning quick updates were too quick. We're gonna go into depth as we are now, obviously over an hour. Whoops. We're gonna go into depth during the weekly recaps, and then just do updates mornings as quick market updates pre-market. So not so much going into depth during the week. They're just gonna be simple 10 to 15-minute videos tops, and we'll take it from there. But overall, this thing on the daily, sorry, now I'm just looking at it more. It's building another the same case as was it UAL? Yeah, UAL. It's looking pretty similar. UAL, RTX, BA. Yeah. Now it's looking like a cluster mess right here. Let me take that out. Okay. So this is looking similar to the other ones where it's making some kind of rising wedge here for now. Just something to keep an eye. So BA, UAL, and RTX. You can see UAL is similar targets to RTX as far as direction. So I'll be looking for something like that. It's interesting because they're all intertwined with that one type of news, you know?
Right.
All right. So you guys enjoy your weekend, the rest of it, and good luck trading during the week, and we'll keep you updated as we go.
Cool. Sounds good, man.
All right. Have a good one.
Take care.